and we're going to take a look at our payment gateway, which integrates with the Sage accounting and the benefits. We'll also touch on some of the changes we've seen in the market since lockdown. So let's get started. Hopefully you can already see the slides. Anyone can't shout, but it should be working.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Perfect. Just checking. I didn't want to get halfway through. So the Brand of Payer is relatively new to market, but despite some of the name changes, we've sat alongside the great accounting solutions for a long time, and we're well known within the accounting industry. We really took the time to discover what businesses want and need from a payment solution, and in particular what Sage customers were after. The Elavon acquisition has given us a greater investment, and with that comes new opportunities for both a business and business customers and partners as well. The reputation as one of the leading payment providers in the market is hard fought, and we intend to keep that badge of honour. So if you cast your minds back, we were previously SagePay, and if you've been in payments or the industry for a fair long time, you'll remember us as Protex as well. So as you can see on the timeline, 2001 is when it all started, and we're still going strong. There's no doubt that e-commerce during this period has boomed. You yourselves probably bought things more online or click and collect than ever before, just out of necessity. We can't just pop along to the shops like we did before. Behaviours have had to change. E-commerce has seen a double-digit percentage increase year on year for the last few years, but in recent months, as you can imagine, it's accelerated significantly. It's close to double the volume of orders that we would have seen year on year. So shops have closed. Most of them are offering some form of click and collect or have adapted, are selling online. They found new ways to do things. So we're still able to get most of the things we wanted before, but it has changed quite significantly. A recent study showed that 50% of adults said they'd spent more online. I certainly know that I'm in that category as well. And it signals a change in behaviour that is likely to persist. Not exactly as it is, and we do hope that shopping continues in small to medium businesses, particularly on the high street, when lockdown is over and we're through this. But it has become more convenient to buy things online and through mail order than it ever has before, and businesses are really catching on to that as well, and convenience is key. PayPal have reported 13% of new users, which is a phenomenal rise. And that probably, I can't see those people closing those accounts the moment lockdown closes or shuts. So there's going to be a continuation in that trend as well. And about 70% of consumers said they use cards more following the lockdown. So cash at the moment, even e-com, you can't spend it in that way. And even when we are buying things face to face or click and collect, the preference is card because of the contactless, because of COVID. So cards are dominating at the moment in a way that they'd gradually done, but contactless particularly, the take-up of contactless for merchants on terminals has grown exponentially. We've also seen personalisation and hyper-personalisation in a way that's not been done before. So you may have seen it yourselves buying things online. It's more around the purchase than the transaction. So previously as a consumer, there were occasions when I felt like, granted you have the goods and I'd like to buy them, but it was very, very transactional. Now there is a lot more of you as a shopper, I'm going to talk and communicate to you. So prime example, it might have been there before lockdown and before COVID, but I'd never noticed. Bought something from Levi's yesterday, and on the checkout page, which typically I would not wait around to see, I press buy and then I've closed the tab. Sometimes catches me out, but I've closed the tab and I've gone. I hung around just to check that it had gone through and any delivery details. And it said something along the lines of easily one of today's best orders. And it was daft, it was silly. I used to work in marketing, I get what it's doing, but it was really nice. And I've seen a lot of retailers out there and businesses, even accountancy firms across the board. There's a little bit more time to make things personal and make things matter and make things meaningful. We're seeing that as well. So we hope that continues even when we go back to more of a face-to-face and a commuter sort of identity for the country. Some stats and figures on the screen, but essentially we've gone online as a country. We've majorly gone online. So there's a little bit of copy on here. But effectively with Apeyo, we have a multitude of services and products that mean you can accept payments in the most convenient way for your purchaser or shopper. So whether it is creating a pay by link experience through your Sage accounting software, which is brilliant, you know, long gone are the days when you're ringing and you're chasing somebody to get the 12 digits from the front of the card, the CVV and the email. Sorry, the CVV or the expiry date. Apologies, I'll restart. So it used to be you'd be chasing that person for the payment, and it might be that you're out and about when they call back, and people used to write things down. Obviously, the payment card industry data security standard has tried to clamp that down massively, and Moto is a lot tighter. But isn't it far more convenient to send an email to that person, which they can at their leisure, whether it's on the commute at home, if they were doing that, whether they're at home, they're waiting for kids, wherever they are, whenever they've got their phone on them. So they can open that link and they can pay it then and there. If they have stored credentials in Chrome, they don't need to get the card out of the pocket. They just tap a button, put the CVV in, and it's done. It's that simple. So it's far more convenient to do a pay by link experience than it is to chase somebody, particularly for a Moto, and get them on the phone to do that then and there. Similarly, we've got typical checkout experiences that you have. So again, a variety of ways you can integrate our payment page into your checkout flow if you have a website. As standard, you do get that Moto, that virtual terminal element to the product. So all our customers can log in and accept Moto payments as well. So when it is a convenient moment, it might be that person cannot access a screen but can access a phone at that time and want to do the payment. So again, what's the most convenient way to get that payment from that person and get it into your system as soon as possible? In terms of what the future is, so there's a lot of integrations with shopping carts out there and an alternative platform. Similar to the integration we have with Sage Accounting today, we've got a very large number of partners that are perpetuating kind of all of the different ways you can accept payments into some really fun and exciting ones as well, and particularly as we look to the click and collect as well, and what's happening at the moment. We've really been able to help our partners with a very flexible solution behind the scenes. Fraud prevention is a standard, so there are easy identifiable flags in the back office that give a red, green and amber indicator of whether this is likely a legitimate transaction or likely a fraudulent attempt and requires a little bit more investigation. So we give you that information up front as well. And there's a variety of different levels of PCI DSS coverage you can get. So if you go with our most kind of comprehensive solutions, a hosted payment page, which is what the Sage accounting software uses, then you are not capturing card data at all in your ecosystem. So you're not writing it down to enter it into a terminal for a virtual terminal transaction. You're not capturing it on your website. It's not going into your servers or any part of your tech. It stays with us. We capture it and we just tell you that the transaction has been successful, and you've got that record in your Sage accounting software and also in your My Sage Pay account as well. In terms of percentages of accountants that agree new technology and culture and digitalisation mean they've had to invest more and more quickly, it's about 83%. It's a tremendous figure. I think if you probably asked people, accountants, that last year, it might have been more the 50 to 60, if that. This year really has transformed how we as consumers and we as businesses are reacting and acting to how our customers need to and want to pay us. The industry is on the brink of a positive change, and it demands that accountants understand their client needs as well. And there's more digitisation to come as well. There are still elements that can be automated and will be. And the hope there is that it doesn't mean that we lose the human element of interaction and of purchases, but that actually we get to use that time in a meaningful way to develop the relationship with someone. And the bits that can be automated, those bits are the bits that fall away into a digital process. I hope you guys are staying hydrated as well. In terms of integrating with Sage Accounting, so you can use Apeyo to trade online and fully integrate transactions with Sage Business Cloud Accounting. So you can automate and streamline your sales and stock control. It saves you time, it gives you advantage of knowing the data in the accounting is accurate. So there's no human error here. You're not expecting somebody to double key in from one system to another. It happens automatically because it's instigated by the Sage accounting side. With Sage Cloud 2000, Sage Pay integrates again seamlessly, making it easier for your customers to pay you and easier for you to process those payments via a quick pay now button. So it is as simple as you identifying there's an outstanding balance, whether that's a transaction or a service that's been provided today, or was yesterday, or will be in the future. You find that, you can submit that link, it'll go straight to the purchaser's inbox and it'll lie waiting for them to then click it at their leisure. They can do it 24/7, they can find it, click it and pay it. It's that simple. Many benefits to having an integrated solution that you don't have to integrate, like with the Sage accounting platform. So there's about 73% of UK businesses are using 2 or more cloud-based solutions, with many turning to cloud-based accounting. And it's around accessibility. We're not waiting for someone on one computer to do something. Systems can be accessed anywhere and everywhere. Office 365 and the proliferation of that, I think everyone is getting on board to having services accessible anywhere and everywhere on any device. And that isn't going to go away, that'll only continue. So having that in your core systems is brilliant. You can access My Sage Pay 24/7. You can contact us 24/7 on our 5-star Trustpilot award-winning customer support telephony team, and via email as well. And obviously the links you're sending your customers as well, accessible 24/7. So you really have got a service that will be accessible whenever you and your customers need it. So integrating the software and the Apeo Payments Gateway helps reduce errors naturally. So as I said before, you're not double keying. It's improving efficiency, so you're not having to manage 2 separate platforms that don't talk to one another. They're simultaneously updating one another. It can facilitate tax coordination and expedite invoicing massively. Having the system generate it then and there rather than moving over to another, creating that, attaching that to invoices, emails, etc. It's just very unnecessary in today's world. And it also helps you inform your strategy by allowing you to plan your cash flow better. So you can see the moment it comes in and that link is paid. So saving you time, it's saving you cash, it's helping cash flow, it's helping to cut costs. You've obviously got efficiencies and you also have data, so meaningful data you can analyse and look at as well. It goes beyond simple credit and debit card processing. So you can also, depending on what integration you've got, there's PayPal. Soon, in the new year, we hope to be adding Apple Pay. And by the middle of the year, we will have Google Pay. And towards the end of the year, we will be integrating, hopefully, with some additional Elavon systems and really bolstering our additional and local payment methods across Europe as well. So an exciting time for expansion of accepted payment types next year. So as I've talked about before, so there's lots of different ways that you can accept payments with us, but the predominant ones are telephone and online e-commerce, e-invoicing, which if you have the Sage accounting integration, you get that as standard, and then click and collect as well. So click and collect can either be that someone's reserving the goods and paying in person, or it could be that they are purchasing the goods and then they're collecting them in person. And that purchasing of the goods before they collect them could be via Moto and Ecom, or it could be by e-invoicing as well. So Apeo allows you to meet customer needs, increasing cash flow as businesses in tough times and enabling multiple ways for you to keep your business growing and adapting. Capabilities such as Moto, e-invoice and click and collect enable businesses to reach more customers, improve cash flow, clear invoices and promote their stock simply and conveniently. The ability to know exactly what you've got in your inventory and fulfillment needs, because it's automated and it's online, really is a time saver. So in summary, the benefits of online payments, as you can see, we've not talked necessarily about the social and the distant safer ways to pay, but we did talk about contactless. So that at the moment, there aren't many face-to-face payments that I've made personally in the last 6 months that weren't contactless. And the benefit of having a smart device or a smartphone Android, iOS, whatever you've got, most of them have got RFID and contactless in there. So you can make contactless payments above the £45 threshold or £40 threshold up to, I think it's a couple of thousand. So typically if I have my phone on me, I'll just be authenticating with my thumbprint. I'll go into Samsung Pay in particular in my case, I'll select my card and then I'll tap and go. And sometimes the retailers themselves don't realise that they can accept over £40 or whatever the threshold is. They can accept it then and there. They also, some of them don't realise that it has expanded from the original £30 cap on contactless as well. So there's a learning curve for them, but they're quite excited when they go, oh my God, you didn't have to put your PIN in. I don't now have to sanitize my PIN entry device, because typically when people are putting it in, I've even had it where someone's taken my card and covered it in alcohol gel and then given it back to me and said, I've sanitized it now. Thank you, it is very damp. So there's things are changing. People are trying to do the best they can, given the rules that we have at the moment and the known risk with coronavirus. Contactless makes it so much easier. There is literally fewer touch points. As we spoke earlier, so secure and reliable, we have PCI DSS solution ourselves, and when you take that solution, there's a varying degree of the PCI DSS coverage that you can have, ranging from the most secure where you use one of our hosted solutions through to something that would be slightly more complicated for you, where you to choose to accept those card details yourselves. Integrate your existing website or use one without one. So e-invoicing is the perfect example of, you don't need a website to accept e-commerce payments. There's a real misconception of, I don't have a website, I can't get online. You absolutely can. E-invoicing is the perfect first step and bridging product for that. Access transactions 24/7 and contact us 24/7 as well. And we've got 99.99% reliability. We're now on cloud, which is a phenomenal step forward for the Apeo business, and also means that hopefully our speed to market in terms of releasing new products and features should increase dramatically as well. So along with our very good secure state compliance, be able to increase or ramp up the speed in which we deliver, which is fantastic. And fraud prevention, as I said earlier, so fraud prevention and detection is really key. So we give you all the information you need to make a judgment over whether you're happy with that payment and you'll let it proceed, or whether you want to potentially contact, or your clients want to contact that customer just to find out a little bit more about what that transaction is, or where those goods are going. So we have a very good solution at the moment that runs in the background there, and plenty of training materials as well to keep our customers informed of how to use that.